So, I've actually got a fun fact for you, and it's that big goals don't require big actions. That life-changing success, growth and transformation you dream or think about, it doesn't happen in like a huge leap. It happens in tiny, practically invisible steps over a long period of time. But here's the problem, and it's that large majority of people just simply don't have the patience. They will go and start something, not see any results, quit, move on to something different, expecting the same thing. And when it doesn't happen, they just repeat that vicious cycle all over again. But that's not how progress is made. Because the most powerful habits are the small ones, the ones that are boring and repetitive, the ones where you don't really see progress happen, because it simply just takes a lot longer to accumulate. So let's have a chat about 5 different micro habits and how they can become your greatest advantage. Number 4 is a tough one to accept, but I think it's the most important. So the first thing is the illusion of quick results. From fitness, business, friendship, relationship, whatever it may be, we live in a world that is obsessed with instant gratification. If you want to lose weight, everyone's looking for a 5 or 10 day thing that's just going to magically do everything for you. If you want to make money, there are just these get rich quick schemes absolutely everywhere that just promise you the dream. If you want to master a skill, there's apparently always some sort of hack you can implement. And where all of those things go wrong is that they leave out the most important part, which is the lengthy process of work. Because deep down, we all know that anything that's worth having just simply takes time. Because like we mentioned, success isn't built on a single moment. It's built on these boring, repetitive, and you could even perceive them as insignificant actions that absolutely no one sees and no one applauds you for. Because, going to the gym for an entire 8 hours to do the longest workout in the world isn't going to get you in shape, but going to the gym for 45 minutes every single day, or at least majority of the days, well, that will. Reading 1 page isn't going to make you a genius. It's not going to make you knowledgeable on a certain subject, but reading 1 page every single day for a year, well, you're bound to consume a decent amount of knowledge that way. But that's it though. All of those things take time, and they're going to have to be repeated over and over and over again. And the biggest mistake people always make is that they rely on those quick and immediate results. So here are 4 micro habits you can actually implement from today into your life. So how do we implement micro habits? Well, just start small. And I mean stupidly small, because that's how you build momentum. If you want to feel better and be healthier, just start with drinking 1 glass of water a day, or an extra glass. Once again, these will seem insignificant, but over time, they do actually add up to a lot more than you realize. If you want to be more intelligent and learn more, just read 1 page a day. Just 1, that's all you need. If you want to be fitter and feel better, do 20 push-ups a day or 20 bodyweight squats a day. That's it, just do that every single day. If you want to be more productive, write things down. Buy a journal or a planner, whatever, specifically just to write things down. When your ideas are transferred onto paper or into actual real notes, they are more likely to become real. Don't do anything huge. Don't try and change everything at once. Just do these small, simple things. You might do one of these things, you might do all of them. That's entirely up to you. But don't change everything about your life, because that's not going to be sustainable. So start small and stay consistent. The science of small wins. So you might be thinking, well, how can these tiny little changes and things actually make a difference in my life? When you start with habits, tiny habits even, there are certain things that are just guaranteed to happen. Number 1, when they are easy to do, you are actually more likely to stick with them. Because if it's something that just doesn't take a lot of time, effort or energy, you can just quickly get it done. And all of a sudden, you're building momentum without even realizing it. Which is the second thing. They create that snowball effect. And small successes and small wins trigger dopamine. And they just have this knock-on effect of wanting to get more and more done because it feels good. They might also create some sort of identity shift. Because when you do things, you start to associate with them. You will associate yourself with that exact thing. Because when you start going to the gym regularly, you're going to associate yourself as a healthy person. And in turn, that might actually have more of a mental effect on you than you realize, in a positive way, because you're going to subconsciously make better and healthier choices day in and day out. So these small things can actually make a really big change if you let them. If you stick with them, they can transform you as a person. That I can guarantee you. But it does require a little bit of patience. Which brings me on to the next thing, the patience problem. This is honestly where most people struggle. You know, in the past, myself included, and I bet you too. And that is honestly just waiting, not seeing results, sticking with it, being patient. Because you'll start a new habit, and the first few days you might feel something, but then after a few weeks, you'll all of a sudden feel like there's no more results. So what do? Well, of course, the easiest thing to do is just to drop it, right? But what you don't realize is that after that couple week threshold, you're going to start reaching a couple months, and then that is when the snowball finally kicks in, and that's when you really see the big changes happen. But the doubt always creeps in and manages to get the better of us majority of the time. But this is what I really want you to remember, and it's that progress is always happening even when you don't see it, as long as you are consistently sticking to the things you set out for yourself. Because one concept I suppose you can use to compare that to is a tree. Because if you look at a tree every single day, you won't really see the difference, will you? Because if you go outside on a Monday, look at a tree, and then you do the same thing on a Tuesday, it just looks the same, doesn't it? But if you give it a month, 2, 3, 4 months, you're going to see massive changes in that tree. It's grown loads because you gave it time. And your habits literally work the exact same way. Every single small action adds up behind the scenes. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but it does add up. And the final thing is just to trust the process. At some point, you're going to feel like this is just crap. This is not working, and it's just pointless. And you're going to doubt the entire thing, and you're going to feel like you just wasted your time. But don't you dare quit now. Not after you've come such a long way. No way. Because, like we mentioned, things just take time, and more often than not, a lot longer than you want them to. But that's okay. That's just a part of the process. Because to see success, to see mastery, to see growth, you just have to keep showing up. You have to. That's all you can do. Just keep showing up. Because when you do reach that destination, you will realize and you will see that it wasn't some big, grand action. It wasn't some dramatic performance that got you to where you are today. It was those small, consistent steps that led you where you are today. So make a start. So just genuinely make a start. Just choose one small thing today and do it. And then do the same thing tomorrow and a day after that. Choose a tiny step and just stick with it, because they're leading you to a place you've never thought about before.